in the ancient sprawling forests of Aotearoa. Long before the first paved road cut through the bush, a different kind of people were said to roam. They were not gods, not spirits, but something far more ancient, woven into the very fabric of the land itself. The Maori called them the Patupaiarehe, the people of the mist. Imagine this. You're a hunter, tracking game deep in the primordial wilderness. The air is thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves. As dusk settles, a heavy mist rolls in, swallowing the trees and muffling all sound. But then you hear it. A soft, ethereal melody. The haunting sound of a flute, a kauyu, drifting through the fog. It's beautiful, captivating, and seems to be coming from just ahead. You follow, drawn by the enchanting tune, pushing aside giant ferns and ducking under ancient branches. The music leads you deeper and deeper, yet you never seem to get any closer. Hours pass. The moon rises, but its light can't pierce the dense canopy and the swirling mist. You realize you're lost, utterly and completely lost. You've become another story whispered around the campfire, another soul claimed by the forest. This was the experience of many who encountered the Patupaiarehe. They were described as beings of an almost otherworldly appearance, human-like, but with pale, luminous skin and fair or reddish hair. Their eyes were said to be a piercing blue or green, glinting in the gloom. They were shy of the sun, preferring the twilight hours, the deep night, or the protective cloak of a thick fog. Their homes weren't built of wood and thatch, but were pa, or fortresses, constructed from mist and shadow, often on the highest, most inaccessible mountaintops. Places like the Coromandel Ranges or the Waitakere Ranges were considered their strongholds. The Patupaiarehe weren't inherently malicious. They were seen as guardians of the forest, protectors of its sacredness. They lived in harmony with nature, their existence intertwined with the rustle of leaves and the flow of streams. But they had a powerful, almost mystical connection to the land, and they demanded respect for it. This is where the cautionary tales began. Elders would warn the young and ambitious against certain actions. Don't cut down that particular ancient tree, for it might be a sentinel for the Patupaiarehe. Don't build your home on that sacred peak, for it is their domain. Don't hunt in that forbidden valley, for you are trespassing. Those who ignored these warnings often faced strange and unsettling consequences. A hunter who took more than he needed might find his traps mysteriously empty for weeks. A woodsman who felled a sacred tree might be plagued by unsettling dreams or a persistent, inexplicable illness. The most common and frightening consequence, however, was getting lost. The Patupaiarehe were masters of illusion and disorientation. They could manipulate the very landscape, making familiar paths twist into unrecognizable knots. A hunter who followed the sound of their flute music would find themselves walking in circles, the same fallen log or distinctive rock appearing over and over again. Some who eventually stumbled back to their village days later were profoundly changed. They might be unable to speak, their voices stolen by the mist. Others would have no memory of who they were or where they came from, their minds wiped clean, left with only a vague, haunting sense of a world just beyond their grasp. It was as if a part of them had been left behind in the forest, a toll paid for their intrusion. There's a famous story about a man named Te Kanawa, a chief from the Waikato region. One day, while hunting on Paronja Mountain, he became separated from his party and was lost in a thick fog. As he wandered, he stumbled upon a clearing where he saw the Patupaiarehe. He was struck by their fair skin and the beauty of their weaving. Frightened but also fascinated, he hid and watched them. One of the Patupaiarehe women, a beautiful chief's daughter, noticed him and, captivated by his dark skin and tattoos, fell in love with him. She took him as her husband, and he lived among them. But Te Kanawa missed his own people and the warmth of the sun. He eventually managed to escape, but the Patupaiarehe princess pursued him. To stop her, Te Kanawa's people used a powerful weapon against the mist dwellers: cooked food and red ochre, or kakwai. The Patupaiarehe were said to be terrified of these things. The smell of cooked food and the sight of the sacred red ochre repelled them, and the princess was forced to retreat back to her misty mountain home, heartbroken. This story illustrates the deep separation between the world of humans, the world of fire, cooking, and daylight, and the mystical ethereal world of the Patupaiarehe. So, were they real? Or were they simply a way for ancient people to explain the very real dangers of the New Zealand bush? It's easy to get lost in the dense forests. The weather can change in an instant, with thick fog rolling in without warning, disorienting even the most experienced woodsman. The strange sounds of the forest at night, the call of a kiwi, the rustle of a possum, the wind whistling through the trees could easily be mistaken for ghostly flutes. And the psychological effects of being lost for days, hunger, fear, dehydration could certainly lead to confusion, memory loss, and a sense of unreality. But to dismiss the Patupaiarehe as mere folklore is to miss the deeper meaning. These stories were a vital part of Maori culture, serving as a powerful reminder of the relationship between humanity and nature. They taught a profound respect for the land, or whenua. They were an environmental warning, a lesson that the natural world is not ours to conquer and exploit, but a living, breathing entity that demands respect. The Patupaiarehe were the personification of the forest's immune system, pushing back against those who would harm it. The warnings passed down through generations were clear and specific. Never call out a person's name in the fog, lest the Patupaiarehe hear it and use it to lure you away. Never follow music if you can't see who is playing it. And if you feel a sudden inexplicable chill or see strange lights flickering in the mist, turn back immediately. You are treading on their territory. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of the legend is the idea that the Patupaiarehe didn't take people out of cruelty. They did it to protect their world. And for those who were taken, who were led deep into the heart of the forest, into the center of the mist, a strange transformation was said to occur. They would slowly forget the world of sunlight, the world of people and villages. Their memories would fade like footprints in the rain, replaced by the whisper of the trees and the melody of the flute. They wouldn't become prisoners. They would become part of the forest itself. They would forget there was ever a world outside of it at all. Today, the vast forests are smaller, crisscrossed by hiking trails and access roads. But even now, when the mist rolls down from the mountain peaks and the world grows quiet, some say you can still hear it. A faint, ghostly melody carried on the wind. It's a beautiful, haunting sound. And it serves as a reminder that we are merely visitors in a world that is far older and more mysterious than we can ever truly comprehend. So if you ever find yourself walking in the New Zealand bush as the fog descends, listen carefully. But whatever you do, don't follow the music. Thanks for journeying into the mist with us today. If you enjoy exploring the world's forgotten legends and mysterious tales, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We'll see you in the next video.